The president of Christian Legislators Fellowship, Senator Barnabas Gemade, has called on lawmakers to have godly virtues and moral forthrightness in the discharge of their duties. Senator Gemade made a call at a press conference as part of the preparation for this year's National Prayer Breakfast in Abuja. He explained that the National Prayer Breakfast is part of the event to commemorate the 57th independent anniversary of Nigeria. The theme for the 8th edition of National Prayer Breakfast is Reconciliation, God's Power, and the New Pathway to National Unity. The prayer breakfast is slated for 26th of October this year, as Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is expected to deliver the key address at the event. From Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
In response to the supposed apprehension currently making the rounds at the Nigerian military administering vaccines to school children, the federal government has denied reports that the military are injecting monkeypox virus to people in their medical outreach across the country. Minister of Health Professor Isaac Adewale, who made the denial while briefing State House correspondent at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, says the medical outreach is never meant to harm anyone, even though the military is not involved in any form of vaccination currently.
We informed Council about the latest development with respect to the monkeypox virus outbreak. So far, as of today, there are 74 suspected cases in 11 states of the country. We have confirmed 3 in Bayelsa State, and 12 of the suspected cases from Bayelsa tested negative. 4 suspected cases from Lagos tested negative. We are still expecting the results of the other ones. We are also doing advanced tests in Nede, that's at the African Center of Excellence for Genomics and Infectious Disease, to really understand the genomics of this virus. Even when they are negative, the laboratory attendant should be able to tell us what exactly they are. And we will also be able to locate and identify the origin so that we can take adequate precaution.
On the update of the spread of monkeypox disease, Professor Adewale says 74 suspected cases have been reported in 11 states and 3 confirmed.
But it's also important to use this opportunity to dispel the rumors circulating in the country that the military is vaccinating people and trying to spread monkeypox virus across the country. The military is not involved in any vaccination exercise. And I must also really educate the Nigerian people about how vaccination campaigns are done. Federal will take the lead, but we do not conduct campaign without working with states. So there is no way we will do campaign without working with the state. And it is the state that will be in front, we will provide support. So the rumor that federal is doing vaccination campaign is not true. And as of today, we are only doing vaccination campaign in 3 states. We are doing vaccination campaign against yellow fever in Kwara and Kogi because of yellow fever outbreak in some parts of the country. We are also doing cholera vaccination in Borno State. And so anybody carrying the rumor, please help us educate Nigerians that it is not true.
The health minister, however, said that there are plans to do measles and yellow fever campaign very soon, hinting that the public will be duly informed when the time comes. President Muhammadu Buhari departed for the D8 summit in Turkey after the brief meeting. From the presidential villa Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
A bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Health Services, Otukpo, Benue State, passed second reading at Nigerian Senate. The bill is being sponsored by former Senate President David Mark to establish the first ever University of Health Services in Africa. It was the first time since the inauguration of the 8th Senate that Senator David Mark spoke on the floor of the upper chamber.
Before the last administration, in 2015, the federal government, the Executive Council approved the establishment of 2 federal universities, the University of Health Science Otukpo and the Maritime University in Delta State. It also approved the upgrading of 4 colleges of education to universities of education. The colleges of education were the ones in Zaria, Kanu, Ademi, and then Alban Ikoku College of Education. We have taken the bills for these institutions and passed them already. The only one that is remaining now is the Federal University of Health Sciences. And what I've tried to say, the argument I've put forward here is that what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. There are institutions that are very specialized these days. The emphasis in the world now is to take specialized institutions. So this university will basically train doctors, nurses, lab technicians, pathologists, pharmacologists, pharmacists, all the allied subjects in medicine up to university level and to degree awarding levels. At the moment, the World Health Organization requirement is one doctor to 500 people. In Nigeria, our own is 1 doctor to 6,000 people. We have a total of 35,000 doctors now. We need a total of 300,000. So if we go by the traditional way of training doctors in traditional institutions, we're going to take 100 years. That is assuming that no doctor dies from now, and that none of those who graduate leave the country, and that new ones will graduate. At the moment, the traditional institutions can only take 3,000 out of nearly 160,000 requirements, out of nearly 160,000 who apply every year. This basically is the synopsis of this. And Mr. President, unless you decide otherwise, I think there's no need for me to read this. The point that I'm making is, since the other 5 have been approved, let this also be approved. And this chamber has approved and supported the bill establishing the other 5 institutions. Thank you, Mr. President.
The bill enjoys sufficient support from the lawmakers when subjected for debate on its general principle. Leader of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, while speaking, said the bill will not be debated and urges colleagues to make provision for the takeoff of the university in 2018 budget.
Elsewhere in the world, this bill will not be debated because of the sponsor. The sponsor, as we all know, but I wish to remind all of us, was someone who sat there for 8 years and presided over the affairs of this Senate with excellence. Mr. President, I don't want to get emotional, but I want to say that our administration believes in national development and growth. I support the passage of this bill for the second reading wholeheartedly. I also support the idea that in the 2018 appropriation year, that this Senate and indeed the National Assembly make provision for this institution to take off in a very high and solid manner, so that the institution that will be in Benue South will not only benefit the people of Benue State or the people of North Central, but the entire people of Nigeria.
Lawmakers were of the view that the bill would not only benefit the people of Benue State, but Nigeria in general.
Mr. President, I'm happy to support this bill because this is a development that we have seen in past administration, and to formalize it into law is only a formality. Apart from that fact, Benue is one of the foremost educational states in the northern part of this country, being the first to establish a private university in the north, and also has a large population of young people seeking university admission today, going to various parts of the country to do so. And federal presence is somewhat lacking in our state because we do not have all the major investments of federal government. So it is quite appropriate that the senatorial district represented by former Senate President receives this university, which was already approved by the past President of Nigeria.
I don't think there's any other university in this country offering this specifically. No. This will be the first one. And also unique about the presenter, David Mark. Of course, when you talk about Senate presidency, in fact, it's Senate President Emeritus. There's no doubt about that. In fact, you and me, we are living witnesses to it. Mr. President, this is not the bill that we'll debate for too long. Please, take it as read. Thank you, Mr. President.
In his ruling, the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekremadu, said the bill has enjoyed sufficient support, saying that the bill seeks to create a special university that will cater for the well-being of Nigeria.
Sufficient support. I can see some senators who left earlier are now back to be part of this bill, which is highly commendable. We must thank the sponsor, our former President, Senator David Mark, for expanding the opportunities to our teaming young girls and boys who are eager to get to universities. And of course, you are aware that we've made progress in respect of universities of general nature and character. But this is a specialized kind of university, which I'm sure we need to focus on as a country in order to ensure that we'll be able to optimize the professional conduct, especially in that area of study. So I want to thank you for your creativity in bringing about this bill. We hope, as Senate Leader has said, that adequate provision will be made in the next budgetary cycle to ensure that this school takes off in earnest. And I just do hope that maybe as a tribute to our former Senate President, that the committee that will look at this bill will also consider renaming the school to be David Mark Federal University of Science, or Turbo. So, and I think that when the recommendation comes from the committee, we'll take an appropriate look at it. So on this note, I would like to put the question. Those in favor that this bill be read the second time, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Black colleagues, a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Health Science, or Turbo, and for that related matters connected therewith, second reading taken and referred to the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund to report back within 4 weeks.
Meanwhile, the Senate has mandated its Committee on Tertiary Education to work on the legislation and report back to the Senate in 4 weeks. Muiwa Bamdele reporting.
Another statesman and philanthropist, David Osunde, has appealed to well-meaning Nigerians to help persons with disabilities by ensuring that they are well taken care of. Osunde, who made the appeal during an exclusive interview with Ben TV in Abuja, said government, private companies, and all Nigerians have a role to play in ensuring that this group of persons are catered for.
It must be said clearly that no one man can be involved in this matter. No government can do it alone. And no whether state, local, or federal government cannot do it alone. Everybody must be involved. There are so many people who are rich Nigerians or wealthy people, you want to call them. Let them be able to create some room to help these persons with disability. Is it corporate, all those companies, Julius Berger, CCC, or what have you, to have definite budget. I can see MTN is doing a lot now. All these, some of these phone companies are doing something now, but more is still required, because even if we increase what we are all doing now by 100%, it's still not enough. So a lot is needed to go into this area of caring for persons with disabilities. The government has to play its part, the companies have to play their part, the individuals have to play their part. Different groups in the church and in the mosque have to do their part, because it's a call for everyone. It's not for one person or government alone. So this is our own taking.
Osunde, while noting the role families play in nation building, advised them to always pray and seek the face of God.
We have found that so many things are wrong in the family at this point in time. Father, mother, and children are chasing different areas of life that they have forgotten, even the children at home. And therefore, the children are going wayward. Many children do not even know now how to pray. Even to begin with, they don't even know how to greet their parents when they wake up at home. If you neglect your prayers, family prayers at home, so many things will happen to you in the society. And you cannot blame anybody because you have not put your house in order. We're asking that father, mother, and children should have time for God, because if they have time for God, God will have time for them.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.